Olive picking season. This was our first year picking our olives, and our neighbors helped us out. We picked them both by machine and by hand. These are our neighbors right here. First, you lay down this tarp. It's called a reta, and you use a rock to make sure it's by the trees, and then you use some sticks to prevent the olives from rolling down the hills. Now, to pick them by hand, you just grab a branch and you kind of pull down, and the olives will come off. And then you just throw them on the ground onto that plastic sheet. And when you're done, you'll collect them. But you just put them on the sheet like that. They overlap so that when they do roll down the hill a little bit, you don't lose them in the crack. The rock and the sticks also help prevent loss. Here you can see a time lapse of me handpicking an entire tree. Typically, we handpick the lower part of the tree and then use the machine on the top part, but I wanted to give it a shot to pick a whole tree. So you can see Lila's hanging out with me while I handpick this whole tree, and then we use the machine. So this machine kind of goes back and forth, and you just put it in the leaves and shake it around, and it'll knock the olives out of the tree. So you use a bigger piece of plastic when you use the machine. This is the setup for hand picking, and the bigger ones for using the machine. Once you have the olives, you want to get the leaves out because there's no oil in the leaves. So this little device helps do that. You can see the pile of leaves in the back, and some of them are getting stuck here in the front. This is how many olives we got from our olive field. It's about 9 of those yellow cases. The olives are gorgeous. Then we went and picked our neighbor's field because we combined our olives together. Here's our neighbor coming down the hill with his little ape. Ape is that little machine. It eventually got stuck, but for now it's working. And then we combined all our olives here to get a better price on pressing at this factory, which is right in town. Here you can see Luca and Luca. So then they take the forklift, pick up the olives, and weigh them. You want to weigh them before you press them so you can get the percentage of oil calculated to see if you've had a good yield or not so great yield. This year was really hot and dry. Here you can see them weighing them on that scale right there. And then they'll tip our olives into the machine and it'll go through the whole process of getting pressed. These machines are really cool. They're kind of just hand pushed forklifts. Never seen that before. Then you can see them going on the conveyor belt. They just kind of go down that funnel right there. And here you can see from the top where they go in the funnel. There's a few leaves in there, but it's not too bad. And then they start their journey. Hi, Luca. So now they're going to get washed. This is just some water right here. Clean them off a little bit. And then they go up this conveyor belt to drop off all the water into this funnel, which has like a big grate on it to catch any like big leaves or sticks you might still have in there. And then they get ground up in this part of the machine, pretty rough grind. Then they enter this part of the machine and they'll continue in this container for about 30 minutes or so. And this is really important for the oil. There's about 3 of these containers and each one is for a different person. These are our olives right here. They're just getting ground up even further. And then this is kind of the control for the whole process. Here you can see the water and the oil being separated out. The oil is nice and green. And then it'll go up these tubes into the final stage where it gets put into this giant jug. Here are the prices. So we combined with our neighbor so we could get that lower price rather than paying a higher price since we didn't have that many olives this year. Here's just another shot of the water and the oil getting separated and a final shot of the oil getting put into the big jugs. That's how you'll take it home. Just some quick photos of the machines and the view from the factory. That's the ocean. Our oil getting weighed at the end to calculate the percentages, which we did on that table. Then we kind of played back and forth with the oil to get the right weight. And then here's Luca taking the oil home. We got some containers And we bottled our beautiful green oil up. Lem helped. And there's our oil. Nice and green. It's beautiful. Tastes pretty good.